Welcome to the Monday night interview stream. Tonight it's a full house as I'm joined by Adam as usual, and we joined by the guys from Catfood Comics. So welcome, Pete and SoK.
My boys.
So you guys have been on before for the 24-hour stream, but just in case people haven't watched, do you want to tell us a bit about yourselves?
Catfood Comics was started in about 1938. It was started in New York. The guy called Emil Catfrick started a cab company, and he had the wacky idea of coming up with a kind of advertising pamphlet at the time, and he put a little comic strip in it. And that was so popular that, as well as running the cab company, he started doing a sideline in comics because there was a print company down the road. Unbeknownst to him, that print company then started doing comics themselves, the more fun comics from Eastern Color Comics. So this guy might have invented, American comics. He had a run in. With the mafia. They started using his cabs for bootlegging. The cab company went downhill, but he went full time into comics. So the very first properly full-time American comic he published was one called Catfood Confidential, starring Detective Mike Wednesday. That was about 1939. So then they never quite hit it, as big as the other comic companies. They refused to do superheroes. They had one superhero called Captain Catfood. It never really caught on. He was their heart was never in superheroes. They used to do sort of pulp adventure heroes, so more like Silverbeard, Squid Eye Guy, Command Z. They were well loved. I remember getting my first Catfood comics, and I was hooked when I first got them. But they went out of business in about 1994 after a disastrous move into trading cards, and everyone thought, "Oh well, it's a shame, but we've still got our old comics." The production value was so bad, toxic ink, terrible paper, a few house fires, and no Catfood comics survived. So me and Mark took it upon ourselves to try and recreate all those adventures that we remembered from our past, and we did that starting with we started with Silverbeard. So that was kickstarted in 2019, and from then we're now moving slowly through the rest of the Catfood constellation to reinvigorate and get all of the other characters remembered and back into people's minds.
Bit more complicated than dragons, magic, and superheroes.
Yeah.
Only a little bit.
Yeah. Not that much, but just a little.
It's a lot quicker at the table. I've got props.
And puppets.
I forgot my props tonight. I tell you, I'm out of the habit. I can't remember my spiel or anything. Yeah. So essentially, we've got a stable of half-remembered pulp adventure heroes that we're slowly producing books about. So the Silverbeard started it, and we've now just launched the Kickstarter for the Catfood Comics 3-pack, which is 3 Titanic titles in one bag. But this time, the one in the middle that you couldn't see isn't rubbish. So that's actually, we've got the unboxing to do to show you. So,
so
rather than just describe it, I'll.
Yeah. So Pete and SoK have got the Kickstarter running currently. I'll find. Adam will find the link now because I can't move screens, but and put it up into the chat. But Pete's going to show us what they've.
Catfoodcomics.com/Kickstarter. Same one for all of our Kickstarters.
and he's going to show us what you could get if you pledge for the top thing with an unboxing. Our first unboxing on stream.
Hey.
So let's give
Not the first.
Pete the camera.
Okay.
And one of the benefits of this Kickstarter as well, it's already successful, isn't it? So if you're backing
Yeah.
it, you're not chancing getting something you want that may not be backed. It's backed, so you're just going to be basically ordering what you want. So
Yeah, we were
Yeah, that's right.
funded in 40 minutes.
boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not done an unboxing myself either, so I'm gonna have to do it in the right order. Okay. So
This is going to go well.
let's start with
A big knife through the front of it and just be like, these were the practice ones.
Yeah.
so that's. Oh look, it wasn't in the box. So that's the Catfood Comics 3-pack. So it's all packaged with the old retro card topper, be hung up in the well, it would have been a paper shop back then. That's where I got mine from. Usually on holiday. So there's 3 books inside. So we've got the Catfood Comics Compendium, which is a character handbook with over 60 heroes, villains, and teams. So they are actually mock-ups. So let's have a flick through. So this is all of those heroes that we've got. Alan Exit, remember him? 8 with a badge. Captain Catfood. Catfood Core. Celia Fate. Eternal Assassin. So yeah, that's the character handbook. Then we've got What the Actual Folk, which is Mark's 20-page fantasy epic. 2 armies long destined to meet finally do on the battlefield. This is actually inspired by the old Ken Bevin stories from the Catfood British Weekly Slab. Look at that. We got some comic goodness, and then we got Sketches of Silverbeard, which is the sketchbook of all of the sketches that we did on the last Kickstarter for Primal Primate.
Any new big guests for this one?
Well, the stretch goals we haven't announced yet, so we have got, instead of doing we wanted to make the books better, really, rather than add items to it. So we have got stretch goals that we're just about to announce. But the rewards themselves, apart from the 3-pack, is the basic reward, and then we've got as well as the 3-pack, you can get a sketch. Look, I forgot. I did a mock-up. I had to do. I chopped up a scroll to get the actual weight right. So don't tell the scroll lords, whatever you do. So yeah, sketches. Doc Mayhem. Yeah, it's got Doc Mayhem, Roxy Bot Kicker, Silverbeard. That's in one of the rewards. We've got Silverbeard, of course, is in one of the rewards, and then the pièce de résistance is the Silverbeard cap. They're all the different reward levels you can get. And then stretch goals. We didn't really want to do the lots of different, elements to be added, and for other people, it's postage-wise is a bit tricky. So we've concentrated on making the content better this time round. So we have got a gallery section in the compendium and in the sketchbook, and then there's process pages or extra bonus material in what the actual folk. And then we've got the very first stretch goal. Have you looked today, Mark? What we're up to?
What, money-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on nearly 1,500.
Yeah, because 1,500 unlocks the Cat Food Commandos membership card. So back in the day, there was a fan club called the Fish Fanciers Funny Book Folk Fan Club. I think that's one too many Fs. But the membership card, the old retro membership card, used to look like this. Captain Cat Food.
Flip it over.
Is that?
Flip it over.
He wants to see the art on the other side.
Yeah. There you go. Beautiful.
So that the reason we did this, it's as well as it being just a membership, an old retro membership card that I remember having. It's also going to serve as a loyalty card, so it comes pre-stamped with the Kickstarter that you've just backed. We're going to have a few missions further along along the campaign, so you might get further stamps in there before it actually arrives. If you come to a con and you've got your Cat Food Commando card, then you can just flash it at the table for access to secret swag. We've got a newsletter, bonus material. So it's just kind of, it's a way to start that kind of fan experience around the project as well. So that's the first stretch goal, which we are literally sort of like pounds away from unlocking.
Yeah,
And
you're 1,429 pounds at the moment.
Cool.
Lovely job.
So yeah, and we haven't really done much campaigning yet. There's been a few obstacles this end, but we're going to start cracking on with that. And then start unlocking all of the galleries and all of the other elements that we've got planned. But there's some cracking stuff to be added to the books. But it's £9 for the base reward. 3 books for £9. We are pushed to walk out of the comic shop with 3 books for £9 nowadays. So
Tell me about
I think
it.
Yeah. Payday the other
Exactly.
day is so my pay's gone already.
So like I picked up the other day, and I've got the 6th Omnivore edition of Chew was in my
I
bag,
nearly told Alec to put that back.
and it's been in my bag for like the last 2 months, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna have to pick it up this time.
What is that, Rick? Like the big omnibus? Is it a hardcover version?
Yeah, it's the hardcover.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What's the damage on that?
It wasn't too bad. It was only 35, but when you've got your comics on top of it.
Yeah.
I was picking up Akira, the omnibus editions as well. It's not that bad, but it's what we do, isn't it? We read comic books, so we can have the hit.
Is that the paperback omnibuses? Yeah. Yeah, they're great. Non-colorized, just the black and white versions.
Yeah, just the black and white versions. I was a bit disappointed that they're in American format.
All right.
Oh, what do you mean? Reading left to right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't get on with reading Japanese format. I just end up reading in circles over and over and over.
You get used to it.
You do get used to it. It sometimes can be a bit confusing.
I had to take a manga back the other day. It was printed backwards. I couldn't make head and tail of it.
Was actually what? Actually, all right. Okay. I think you meant like left or right then.
Old dad joke.
Yeah.
Every time the girls say, "Oh yeah, look at this manga, Dad." Oh no, it's broke.
Broken.
It's all
I do that with Lego
Straight
and jigsaws with Veronica. It's just shaking. Oh, this is broken. Can't do this one.
So,
yeah, I ordered that Kazar the Savage 32 issues, the 80s Bruce Jones and Brent Anderson book, and it's the first time I've ever bought anything like that. But I adore that series. I had to pay Simon in installments.
Do you mind saying how much?
I could do. I was it was 110 quid.
Oh.
I've never spent that much on a book ever. I can't remember before then. It would have been maybe what 40 or 50 quid, something like that. But yeah, so I couldn't do it all in one go. I had to I had to do it in installments.
I think it was Shaolin Cowboy and probably the Wednesday comics. Not Wednesday comics. Yeah, was it Wednesday? I can't remember.
Yeah, the big Wednesday comics.
Yeah.
The daft thing is,
That's a beautiful book, isn't it?
it is a good series. But some of these books, you know, when you're buying them monthly, you're actually spending way more than you would on a trade.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be by the time I get to the end of Strange Adventures, it's going to be nearly 60 quid, something like that.
Yeah.
Even more.
And you're not getting all the stuff you get in a trade as well, you know.
Well, I'm not getting a good story either. But that's another story.
And at our age now as well, we always forget, don't we? I pick up Batman and it's like monthly, and I'm like, well, what happened last time? Somebody's dead. Somebody's alive.
Yeah. Somebody put somebody, I'm not sure whether it was PJ Holden. I think it might have been him. He put on Twitter the other day, I wish that all comics would put like a recap, you know,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the issue. Quite a lot of the Image ones do, you know.
Yeah, Marvel has started. Yeah.
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 Well,
I think they did
Image
that with
can have bigger gaps between them as well.
Yeah, because they do that break system, don't they?
Yeah.
Seasons.
But what are
I
you
quite
guys...
like I quite like that though, because it tends to keep the books on time when they are running, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives your bank balance a little bit settling as well.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys picking up at the moment then?
A lot of Image stuff for me. So, Moonshine, Love and Rockets.
Yeah, I'm still picking that up. Love and Rockets.
Yeah. Headlopper.
Yeah, same.
Anything by Brubaker and Phillips. I picked up Strange Adventures. I picked up Beta Ray Bill, but I always end up just being more being more pulled to the Image stuff at the moment, really. To be honest, Dark Horse still, of course.
Yeah.
You know, there's less Hellboy sort of kind of stuff coming out, but I think it's going to change.
Yeah. With me, I think pretty much a lot of the stuff you just said. Headlopper still picking up. Love and Rockets. I did pick up that Stray Dogs thing. Looks a little bit. Is it Stray Dogs? Yeah, I think so. I picked it up for Bex anyway. I definitely didn't pick up a Disney-looking Image title for myself. But I haven't had a chance to read it.
Stray Dogs come at night.
Yeah. What else am I picked up? A lot of the stuff I was picking up was finished. I was getting that Scalera and Sean Murphy White Knights, is it? The Harley Quinn one?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoyed that. The art was knocked out on it.
I think the next thing they may be working on might be a Harley Quinn thing.
Right. Have you watched that Harley Quinn TV series?
I've watched a bit of it. Yeah.
Bloody hell! Don't go watching that with the kids in the room.
No.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
our kids not so bad, but
My kids could manage it, but
not the little ones.
bloody hell! There's some serious hardcore swearing in that.
It's like
Yeah.
you
What
hope
you
that
realize is what's missing from a lot of the Batman mainstream stuff anyway.
It shocked me, if I'm honest. You know, it didn't shock me in the sense that oh my god,
Dear
look at
BBC.
look at the swearing. Yeah. It wasn't anything like that. It was just not what I was expecting, you know.
Yeah.
So I think maybe not so much shocked as pleasantly surprised.
Saying about the Love and Rockets thing, I think I don't know if you feel the same. I'm feeling I read the whole thing happily and I'll pore over it, but I am mainly just looking at Jaime's two contribution.
Yeah.
Contribution.
To
Yeah.
be honest, it's been a long time since I've read Beto stuff. I always look through it, but I don't read it, to be
It
perfectly honest.
just I mean, it's nice to see the characters grow. I do love that there's still a generational thing, but
Mm.
I've lost my way with it, and it just I don't know. It doesn't have the same vibe anymore. It just seems like it's a placeholder. But the anima stuff, and of course,
Yeah.
Maggie Hopi and now the expanding cast just seems to go from strength to strength.
It would be nice to see him try, Beto try something new, like
Yeah.
Jaime has done with, the anima stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of waiting, hopefully,
His
for
little
him to
jaunt
do that.
in I think it was Sensational Comics or whatever it was. The Wonder Woman thing a couple of years back was really cool. It was, fully colorized and everything. It was only a little short, but it was just nice to see his particular style with smaller breasts.
He
But,
did yeah. He wrote that Midnight Children thing with Darwin Cook doing the art.
Yeah.
He's a good writer,
yeah,
and he's
yeah.
a great artist. But like you say, I think it's just it's lost its way. I can't connect with it really.
No. It seems to be jump. I mean, you can tell by the way they panel it. If it's a flashback, but it seems to be a flashback and a flashback sometimes, and then it jumps forward, and then so. The talking heads.
What Twilight Children that was called, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
What? I didn't realise that it was him that wrote it. I picked it up because it was Cook.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
I was pleasantly surprised that I haven't been reading Supergirl for a while, but I like Bilquis Ively's work.
Yeah, she's great.
Turned up on my bag the other day, and I was like, brilliant.
My favourite at the moment is that I don't know how to say her second name. Is it Elsa Chartier or whatever it is it?
Charcuterie.
Yeah. Tell you what, jokes aside, Darwin Cook will never be dead as long as she's still drawing.
Yeah.
She's got it. She's absolutely got it. I love it.
Yeah, the November stuff. I really like November stuff because it got away from the Darwin Cook bit towards the end. It got sort of messier and a little bit raw. I liked how raw it got at the end.
I didn't like the font. I couldn't read it.
Oh no, that was bad. Yeah,
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing against the letter or anything, but it was. I really, really couldn't read it.
No,
there's parts of it where it was taking me ages just to read one page, and I was like, it can't be me. I'm surely can't be me, can it? And I could only read it with my brand new glasses on.
Well,
yeah. I was picking it up with my older glasses on, which were all right for reading.
Were you doing it like this, though? You take them away from your eyes.
Yeah, it's just like. Yeah.
Cutting while you.
But it's not the whole book. It's just part of the book. I can't remember which part it is. It's like definitely the introduction. The beginning of the book is always in that. It's like a handwritten font, and it's like a doctor wrote it.
Yeah, and the F's were really strange as well.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but
you
still.
Accidentally leave it in the counter in the pharmacy, get a packet of pills or something.
Yeah, exactly. I loved it. It's fantastic books.
Sometimes experimental font does need to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looking to
if
get
it gets
Relic.
in the way of the story, you know,
Oh
then
yeah,
you've messed up, haven't you?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
totally did. It just kept pulling me out totally all the time.
Yeah,
I got,
that's how I was finding it. It was taking me out. I was concentrating
Mm.
too much on
what the text was saying.
just trying to read it. I just couldn't get to grips with it, you know.
I got Veronica into some comics. She's reading a couple titles, and she really digs the Sandman stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
I got Prelude somewhere, and I went back to it, and I've read it quite a few times. And I always forget that when you're reading something that's probably printed by whatever, whatever text is in the current, whoever does the normal text stuff in comics these days, and then you go back to that hand drawn stuff, and you're like, this is gonna take me a while, isn't it? But you realize how
Yeah.
often you'd pore over the pages when the pacing was right, even if the text is a little bit squiffy. It's not as bad as that one sounds, but yeah, it's definitely reminds you how nice it is to have digitally printed text sometimes.
Yeah.
You definitely that dazzling hair that SoK's doing for you is.
Oh yeah. You can see my screen, can you?
Yeah, we can see both. I'm flicking back and forth between them. I was going to wait until it came to a point that, I got the facial hair to hide the double chin, and you've got it on full display there.
Oh yeah, I couldn't.
Embrace the double chin.
I haven't finished yet, Rick. That'll like melt into the background now. Once I get that big ginger beard going, it'll be you won't be able to see it. It'll be gone.
So
I don't know. See, I think you should keep it. I mean, people always say about weak chins, and if you've got two very strong.
Yeah, of course. If you've got two chins, then you double hard, didn't you?
Yeah. That's what I said. Let's go on really pronounced one.
But yeah, you've been pretty busy during all of this lockdown anyway, because you had Scroll come out as well to like rave reviews everywhere. So are you doing another one of those?
Yeah. Currently.
Yeah, we're
working on it right now.
We have had meetings.
Yeah, I say working on it. I don't think. I think only Gustavo has actually picked up a pencil and done something. Well, I say done something. It looks like he's almost finished. But
totally.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, we are working on that slowly.
Yeah.
But it'll all come together pretty sharpish, I should imagine.
I think we're pretty much working along the same sort of time scale that we did last time. So I think it'll probably get announced perhaps towards the end of the summer. But it's the same kind of deal. There'll be a story in there from each of the Scroll Lords, and we'll have some cool guests along as well. So
yeah, we've already secured some good guests. Yeah.
There's the caliber. No, we can't. But the caliber is, along the lines of, who we had last time.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
But yeah, we can't say anything because we'd have to kill you.
Yeah. Plus the other lords would kill us.
Yeah.
We're already on the verge of being booted. It's only it's only all the others that bother putting the work in. Me and Peter just kind of just winging it by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Name dropping left, right. Oh,
Yeah.
We just pulled something out of our back pocket at the last minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that though, but we're watching you do this, and we're having trouble talking because we're watching you both draw. So
I know. That's it. I'm like, especially like, I gotta be honest. Since getting back into comics, I'm at the lowest reading material that I've like since I've been picking up comics as an adult. It's been just like when a book doesn't turn up in my bag, it's like I'm not going looking for it because it's like, and then I'm like, oh, how have I only got 5 titles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. I I must have asked. I'm a bit pickier now than when I worked in the shop. So I must have asked Simon just to pick me up the first issue. And when I went back in to get the second issue, I didn't have it. Stomney's Jonna and the Impossible Monsters.
Right.
Yeah, I picked the first issue up and it was brilliant. And then I was like, oh, that's on issue 4, but there's none in my bag. I must have just said, please can I have the first issue of that and don't put it on standing order. So that was a bit disappointing. And I missed Ultra Mega 1. Yeah, I phoned up pretty quick to try and get one, but nope, gone. And gone, gone to the point where it's like rocking or
It's like I picked up when it came out originally, the Old Guard.
Yeah, the one they made the
Netflix
film out of.
Yeah, I did pick that up originally, and it's one of those weird things that it could be a random book that just happens to have Spider-Man in it, and it turns up in my bag, but something that I collected the first part of on my pull list didn't turn up in my bag, and I didn't go, hey Si, can you get this in for me? I'll probably read it in trade at some point, because the second one, by the time I realised, hang on, I'm not getting that, the second volume was more or less done.
That's the trouble.
I've had lucky accidents. Like I'm reading Batman, so some of the Batman titles pop up, and Superman hasn't had a title for about a year, and then Supergirl hasn't had a title for a year, and then the new one pops in. So usually it's something I'm kind of on for. Gamma Flight did pop up in my my bag the other day, and I'm kind of like, I'm enjoying Immortal Hulk. It isn't as good as the first couple of issues, but it's still really enjoyable. So when Gamma popped up, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give that a go.
I can't remember the last time I read a Marvel comic. Is what's his name? Amadeus Cho, is he still the Hulk?
He is a Hulk, but he's not the Hulk.
Right, okay.
Immortal Hulk was Banner back from the dead, and it outsold Batman first couple of issues. First time. Yeah, it was brilliant. Al Ewing basically reinvented the Hulk so that he was an undying monster. Bruce Banner could be caught stealing jeans in the afternoon, gets shot in the back, dies, and he'll be resurrected when he turns into Hulk. And it's been a horror movie, basically. It's been a monster. Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe works because it's not just superheroes, it's something else. And so Hulk was now a horror movie, and he was facing off against creatures, and there was this big thing in the background. So Ewing did really well.
And lots of body horror too.
Lots of like Rick Jones is mixed with this radioactive man monster. And it's all messed up, and what's his name? Banner's father's in it as a creature from down below, like down below. It's just all crazy. It's kind of not lost its way. It's now some of the reveals have happened. It's just kind of not ambling along. It's trotting along pretty well, but it's the first couple of issues were brilliant.
Right.
But now it's not Doc Samson or Sasquatch. It's Doc Sasquatch.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's the artist on it? Did you say?
I didn't. I think it's.
Right.
Still Phil. No, I'll check now. Actually.
No, I had a look at it. I can't remember. It looked pretty good. It looked a little Lanil Yu. I think he's done the cover, but the inside.
Yeah.
No, well.
Yeah, it's a different artist on the inside. Can't remember who it is.
It's pretty
Should
good.
know this. Oh, Joe Bennett.
What on Gamma Flight?
No, sorry.
on Hulk.
Oh, right.
Sorry, yeah. I can't remember who did the interior for Gamma, actually.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I'll look at that.
Yeah. And I did pick up the first trade for Year Z, based on the second volume that was released. That was really cool. I thought I was kind of zombie tired, but that was something different. What have you got?
This is all my pull list. So Daredevil.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four,
Mhm.
Strange
Strange
Academy,
Academy, yeah. I think I read that to about 5 or 6.
and Spider-Man.
Mine's
Spidey.
a little bit heftier.
That's it at the moment on mine. To be fair, I'm not really reading the Spider-Man stuff, and that's what turns up the most.
What are you just still picking it up so you
Yeah,
don't naff your collection, yeah?
yeah, basically.
Of course.
But that's probably my favorite book at the moment is the Daredevil, the Chip Zdarsky run on Daredevil.
Right.
So that's been kind of the one that I read straight away, and like it used to be that I'd keep my favorites till last, so I had them to look forward to.
Right.
But now it's just like, no, I don't know when I'm gonna get around to the rest of them. I'm gonna make sure I read. I'm gonna make sure I read Daredevil.
I think the thing I was enjoying the most was the Year Z stuff. It's from AWA, I think.
Oh yeah, that was good. I
Yeah,
read
it
some of
was.
that.
It was only a 5-issue arc, so I was
Yeah.
genuinely on the strength of the first issue. I picked up the first trade,
Mm.
and it's fantastic. For those of you who don't know, it's like little vignettes, usually for following 4 or 5 characters.
The colouring's
during-
amazing as well.
Yeah, it just Lee Luffridge did the first volume, and it's Benjamin Percy and Ramon Rosanos.
Mm.
And it's just little stories like throughout each issue it'll split up between the characters telling you what they're doing, and it's always these little curveballs they throw. Like the first issue has got some soldiers in Iraq, and they go into to rescue some abused women, some victims of violence and abuse, and you think it's going to be the soldiers helping the women escape, but then the zombies attack, and it's just these these abused women basically fighting for themselves because they're obviously victims of abuse. They've hardened themselves, and it's just really cool. And because it's only little vignettes, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen Black Summer, but it's just really punchy. Really enjoyed it.
Did you read Old Haunts?
What?
Old
Old
Haunts.
No.
Yeah, Lawrence Campbell,
Yeah.
Rob Williams, and the guy who wrote The Kitchen. Can't remember his name, but that was really cool. That was the AWA one that I stuck with. I did try the Umbrella one.
Yeah. I do like that they do. They obviously they're small enough that they need to, but the way they advertise in their back, the back of their books is I think oh yeah, Old Haunts on the back. Yeah, there's Devil's Highway as well, Rendell, Kentucky, Bad Mother. Maybe it's a title, it's going places. Hopefully.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good.
So are you watching all of the like geeky stuff that is coming out like
Up to date with everything, Rick. I'm pandemic carried out. I'm not even joking when I say that I watched a whole first season of My Name Is Earl today. Not 24 episodes.
Oh.
Is that a cry for help?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm not even joking. I've seen it before, but by the time the first season finished, I was thinking I should maybe write a list. You know, I really thought this isn't a bad way to live your life. You know, seems to be working out all right for him.
I know. He just goes around and does all these amazing things just because he's...
Yeah, man, he lives in a motel. No job. He's just like, yeah, perfect. Granted, he did win $100,000 on a scratcher, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. My favorite episode of that has got to be because Kieran watched it all about a couple of months back. Is the one where they go to the Right Choice camp.
Yeah.
And Randy, to get away from a chicken, accidentally jumps into the ostrich cage.
Yeah, man. And he lies down on his back.
Yeah.
Just gonna lie down for here now.
And then the two ones.
And then the joke at the end is like, Earl, do you think that ostrich could walk here? And he went, no, Randy, it's locked in a pen. And he went, but if it got out of its pen...
would it be able to walk up the steps?
Would it be able? Yeah. Would it be Randy? Would it be able to walk the 25 miles here, up the steps, and into this particular motel room? Probably not. And then he just gets up and locks the door.
I'm just gonna lock the door, like.
The episode where they have to repay Christian Slater, and he's at that camp and he doesn't want anything, and then Randy has the raging faints or whatever. And then they put that paste on his head, and he goes, "Don't eat it," and he eats it, and everyone turns into claymation. It's fantastic.
That's a later season one, though.
Yeah.
And the one with the Cindy Lauper tape where he's got a girlfriend, and it's just a montage of him singing time after time. That's just so good. That's just clever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not up to date with any of the Marvel stuff yet. I'm just about halfway through The Mandalorian season 2.
Oh, right, I've done that. I've done Loki. I'm up to date with Loki. That's going alright, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying Loki. I've enjoyed them all, to be fair. I wasn't...
Yeah.
Originally, I wasn't quite looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
But then when it came on, I really enjoyed it because it went in a totally different direction than I was expecting it to go in.
Yeah.
They got you now, you see. They got us all.
Yeah.
I was getting my daughter into some of the stuff on Star, like all the shows that, as soon as I saw Star had things like dinosaurs and gargoyles on it and Scrubs, I was like, None, we got to watch these things. And she's like, sure, okay. So now we're like, do you want to watch a couple of episodes of dinosaurs? And I forgot how good that show is. It's like, it's the moral story, the moral tale is pretty laid on thick, but it's the baby just shouting "not the mama" and get thrown across the room and going again. You know, that's always something good.
The dinosaurs.
Yes. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I don't think I think it was on the telly at some point. But I don't think I've watched it. No, Bex loved it though. She likes that little baby dinosaur.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like, and the stuff that they're doing outside of Marvel and DC is kind of weirdly better. Although,
did you watch Sweet Tooth?
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That was another one.
Yeah,
that was another one we enjoyed.
And
none of that weird deer shit.
Invincible.
Oh man, Invincible was so good, right?
It was one when you were talking about Harley Quinn. It's another one to go on that list of.
Yeah, mate.
Don't show your kids.
No, seriously hardcore.
Can you imagine that? Like somebody who doesn't know just picks up the trio of Harley Quinn, Invincible, and the boys. Hey kids, I got some comic book shows to watch.
Yeah. Got some cartoons to watch. You sit down by there while I go and do the dishes. No.
Daddy, does Superman melt people's faces? No, well, everyone did.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you know the Can you give spoilers on you?
Yeah, go for it. Spoiler.
You know
warning.
the bit. It isn't in the. Yeah, spoiler warning. It isn't in the. It isn't in the comic. You know the bit where what's his name? Omni-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know when he holds Mark up through the train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just smashing through all the people. Like he's just holding him on the train tracks, and he's just going through a train, smashing through each carriage by carriage, and just all the people are just being obliterated as they hit him. That was something else, man. I was like, what? That's pretty hardcore. Yeah.
I see that as, that's a character-defining moment, the same way, but in reverse to the scene in Spider-Man 2 where he's holding the train full of people and not going through them.
Yeah.
That's how I saw that. I have not watched the show, but I saw that bit, and I was like, it's kind of like if Peter Parker was holding his webs. And
you haven't? Sorry, mate. You haven't seen it, no?
No, I don't mind.
Oh, wow.
As long as we don't upset the viewers, I don't mind.
blow your head off. Absolutely blow your head off. Yeah.
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 But yeah. And the thing that became a meme about like the mother. Oh my god. How could he say something like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Go and watch
It's
Invincible.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal, isn't it? I'm glad it's already been picked up for. Was it second and third season?
Mm.
I think they said.
I think they just know now, the value of adult shows like that. I mean, have you watched any of you watched Metalocalypse?
Metalocalypse.
It was an Adult Swim thing. I think it's on E4 at the moment. It's
Oh, do you know what? I think Lee Phillips lent me a DVD of that, and I've
Yeah.
still got it.
Oh, it's genuinely worth a watch. They're like 13-minute episodes, 13
Right.
like 24 13-minute episodes. Really super short, but in that you get an actual death metal song. And it's basically this band called Death Clock are I think at the beginning of the season are probably beginning of the show about the world's 7th biggest economy, a band. They
Right.
have literally an army of not unwilling, sorry, completely willing volunteers, and they are just a metal band. They're thick and they're airheaded, and they're all based on famous metalers. Lead singer looks like Pete Steele and sounds like George Fisher from Cannibal Corpse. And even though it's flash animation, when they're playing, the fretwork is accurate. All the chords they're playing and everything, and all the drum work and all the bass work. And they just sing these heavy metal songs, well, these death metal songs about stuff, but they're absolutely stupid. They insult Scandinavia at one point. I
Yeah.
forget what I think it's Finland they offend. And so
Right.
they go to apologize because the country just collapses because it's not in favor of the band, so the country just falls apart. So they go to write it a new national anthem. Unfortunately, they find it in an old tome, and it's a book to summon a demon called Musta Krakish. And as they sing in this metal song, they summon this world-ending monster. And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, let's go then." And they all the way through the show, they're whining about their mobile phones, why they're so spiky, why they got terrible service, why the rate's so bad. And it's because their boss goes, "Because you made them that way. You were drunk, and this is what you wanted." And that's what saves them. One of them freaks out and throws his phone at this monster, and he swallows it. He starts pulling his own insides out. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Gordon Sun in the chat is saying that Metalocalypse is the best. It's getting a
Oh,
new
God.
movie to end it. But if you've ever seen the Bat Metal stuff,
Yes.
that's their songs.
Yeah. They've just been animated by some Russian animators instead.
Oh yeah, Bat Metal.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I know.
Metalocalypse.
Okay, right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And some, even though it's flash animation, some of that stuff is even though it's a stupid show about idiots, some of that stuff is not, I wouldn't say poignant, but some of that stuff is grand in scale. Like they decide they're going to record on water, like record music on water as a material, and so they go underwater to record stuff. And even though most of the shows then underwater involve violent decompression of some characters, the stuff that they do show that's great is just really great, and it's just filled with poop and fart jokes as well.
So,
That's always a winner.
what's next for outside of Scroll and everything like that? Once this one's been done properly and it's all out the door, what's the next one? You guys are doing Kickstarter or book? What's the plans?
Well, we both still got Silver Beard issue 2 on the drawing table. Well,
Oh yeah.
some of us have got more done than others. But yeah. So I think that next, Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. More of the same.
Yeah.
So we'll have gallery, special features, same kind of layout. Yeah. So that it's tricky, getting everything juggled. But yeah, and I'm always trying. We're trying to expand somewhat and trying to get more books out, other than anything that's produced just by us, is the next goal. So we've been trying to find some collaborators so that we can start to actually produce books that me and Mark haven't done everything on. And to a certain extent, we're going to have something out by the end of the year that I've not written and drawn, and even that has saved me a lot of time. So we've got a few, and Cat Food anthology book is hopefully what's going to follow Silverbird 2. The idea of bringing the compendium out now is just to show who we've got in our stable, and then hopefully find out which ones click with people and which ones they want to see stories about. And then we're going to be more than happy to put some of those together. But yeah, we just got a ton of ideas at the moment. Not always the time to put them together, but we'll be doing our best.
Yeah. What about you guys? Now that
Ricky,
now that the digital con is done, you just gearing up again now for next time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hoping that something. Well, hoping that we can come and say something soon.
Right.
So, at the moment, it's just because of all of this going on.
Yeah.
It's just fingers crossed that we'll be able to have a con next year. We are planning it, and we've got some exciting stuff coming up on the digital side anyway. So that we're keeping going with this, just to try and interact with people. But what were you going to ask, Pete?
I suddenly thought the other day, did you see any of the stuff that the Lakes did digitally? On their virtual con?
I didn't.
No.
I did.
Yeah, well, they put that book together. I suddenly thought you could do something similar with Dragon Thundercliffs. There was loads of artists involved, and they all did a page each in a continuing story. But with your charity connections as well, and it being a comic convention, you could definitely think about putting together, a charity-led comic that, considering the format that was established as well, you'd be getting these pros to do 4 panels, and they could knock that off in half an hour. Some of them.
Something Ricky's discussed a few times actually. It's something we have to look
Yeah,
into.
you should definitely
Is that the one that Michael Lark did the page for? Pete.
The Lakes did a version where the idea was somebody started the story and then everyone else followed it.
Yeah, that's it. It was with the clock tower, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds suspiciously like our wall comic idea, Pete.
Yeah. Well, there is that.
Don't they all?
Yeah. It all comes around.
Yeah.
But considering how many scripts that you've got and what a format it is, it's so social media friendly, and it's really quick and punchy to do. It's definitely something I think you should be seriously thinking of putting together. Be well cool. Why is it not working?
We are.
Yeah.
We're keeping that idea. It's something we'll have to. Were you going to say something, then?
No, I was going to just say we'll have to discuss it a bit further off the stream.
Yeah.
But I was thinking as well, because old flipping Zack Snyder stole your zombie heist, for God's sake. You got to start.
See, I'm a little less butthurt about that since the film wasn't good, but also because
it wasn't.
It was apparently in development hell for decades anyway. It was supposed to be a sequel, so before I even came up with it.
What was
So,
that? The Army of the Dead, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I still think mine's better because I
It
still
was
think mine's
pants.
better.
Oh, totally. I mean, God, you two are sitting on, a good few really good concepts.
It's
Just watching you draw again.
it's that weird thing of trying to find.
We need to quit our jobs.
Yeah, and well, apart from that, artists and finding the money to
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, that's always the problem. That once me and Mark started talking about involving other people, then you have to get down to money. The only thing that, well, the only advantage we have in terms of our Kickstarters is that we're not claiming any money from it. We
Yeah.
aren't getting a page rate. We aren't getting paid for what we do. We produce it, and therefore there are no costs involved other than printing it.
Yeah.
And then any profits that we do get from it at the end just goes into us going to cons and selling the stuff we do. But as soon as you then start to involve a staff, then it gets expensive. So, but equally, doing it is half the battle. Doing it just makes everything easier. I think.
Yeah. We're lucky in a sense as well because the work is, especially for the likes of the Catfood 3-pack, we've already done all the work,
Yeah.
So it's, don't get me wrong, Peter's still working hard with the stretch goals and what have you, promotion and etc. But the actual, besides the printing, the work is done. So it's not like we can go in with a low pledge, with a low goal because we're not taking the time off work to we don't have to pay ourselves out of the Kickstarter to take the time off to do the work because we've already done it, So it's pretty, in that sense, it's a win-win because as soon as we hit the goal, the funding goal, then all we got to do is print it because it's ready.
And everything that anybody
Pete's
gives
already
before.
put it all together. It just needs to go off. It be emailed off, and bing bang boom,
And
off we
whatever
go
goes over
to
the
the races.
goal is better for the people donating as well, isn't it? Because they get more stuff that you can cover already.
Yeah, exactly.
Data.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else then. I forgot what it was.
It'll come.
Yeah, when you're laying in bed tonight at 2:00 in the morning.
I don't lay in bed at 2:00 in the morning. I'm still up playing.
That was it.
So,
Game Boy games.
I did when I was looking at the Kickstarter. Gotta say that add-ons thing is new, but I do like the stickers.
Oh yeah.
We do like a sticker. We've both been playing around with them on some of the golds. I don't know.
I got space on my laptop for that one that SoK promised me the other day.
Oh, look at this. He's guilting you in a live stream, so don't have
I got stickers for you, Rick.
You
You should have reminded me the other day when you dropped the comics off.
I only remembered now because we were talking about stickers.
now that he has to guilt you.
But
Just give him half a sticker, rip it in half, and give him half a sticker.
Yeah, come back next year for the other bit.
So, so seems all busy for you guys at the moment. Anyway, so
Yeah.
what? So as long as cons happen, what cons have you got lined up? Obviously, there's Lakes and Thought Bubble are two of your regulars. Are you planning on going anywhere else?
They're the only ones so far that we've applied for and got accepted to.
Yeah.
But I
Not
think
that the other ones aren't any good, but those are the two good ones. I mean, they're the ones you need as well.
they're the two sort of biggest, I suppose, in that sense. We haven't done any of the sort of MCM London types, but those two are the ones that the most of your mates are going to. We did True Believers. God, was that 20? Was that 2020? We did it.
Yeah, they were the last con that run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We did that, and they were sensible, obviously enough, and foresighted enough to say they weren't doing 21, and then they declared 22, I think. So obviously that would be quite good. I quite fancy going to Comics Salapia, or however you say it, the Shrewsbury one. That looks pretty good. They've had some really good guests there. The last one that I don't know if it went ahead, but they had Ben Stenbeck going to that, the BPRD Mignolaverse artist. So I'd have liked to go to that, and it's not too far. There was some noise about Bristol getting a little bit, back to what it was. I think
There was some talk about that in Thor Bubble, wasn't it? But then the pandemic hit them, wasn't it? Was it Joel was talking about it?
I can't remember who it was, but it was
Meadows, I think.
Yeah, I think there was, I think hopefully it'd be nice if Bristol, got its com back in order, because that's really good for us.
Right on the door as well, isn't it?
So nothing other than the what we think of as the big two, really. But
Nah. What about you, Rick? Are you still rocking Thought Bubble with us if it goes ahead?
Yeah, as long as you guys don't mind me tagging along, I enjoy
We only,
coming up.
you know us, man. We don't even go for we don't even go to sell anything. We only go up to get wrecked. We only go up for a laugh.
yeah, it is a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I was like, I was telling, who was I telling the other day about? It might have been Justin on stream, Justin Stewart, about our first trip to Thought Bubble.
Yeah.
And how we
when we
managed
met
that.
when we met McLean, yeah.
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 And like.
That's top night, wasn't it?
Yeah, and how we managed.
And we met
to
Zay, didn't we?
Yeah, and how we managed to stay awake.
Yeah.
Well, you did sleep all the way there.
I slept all the way, not even messing about. Just like, yeah. Ah, right. Yeah, great. Nice one for picking me up, Rick. Go on. Yeah. Granted, I was out till about 3 in the morning. What time did you pick me up?
It was 4, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure if I'd been to bed. Yeah. I think I'd been to a gig or something, didn't I?
Yeah, you went to a gig the night before.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Hardcore.
And
Yeah,
the coldest water taxi ever.
Oh my god, that was nuts, wasn't it? Nut. It was when Thought Bubble was in the other place, yeah, the infirmary or whatever.
The armory.
The armory, infirmary. The armory, yeah. And it was like, oh yeah, we'll get to the hotel now. We'll get on this water taxi, go up the river, take 5 minutes. Oh my god, it was like getting on a boat in the Arctic.
Yeah,
It was insane.
Word of advice for anyone: don't get water taxis in Leeds towards the end of November.
Yeah. It was freezing.
And then we went to the wrong hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Still killed it in the end, didn't we?
It was still a great weekend. Well, say weekend, night, day.
Yeah. Yeah, we left on the Sunday, didn't we?
Yeah, we left straight after the con.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We stayed the other times we've been up though.
yeah, probably stayed the last couple of times then.
Yeah.
So what about no San Diego? Not gonna try to go to America or anything?
No.
Hmm.
I'd like to go back to I'd like to
Lexington,
go
is
back
it?
to Lexington, yeah, and hang out with Justin and that. That'd be rad.
I know Justin Castaneda was saying about coming down and wanting to come down and seeing you and Bex as well.
Well, he had a trip planned before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that he
They
was going to
were-
meet you in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the plan. But if they were here, they were going to try and come and stay. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Cody that we met in Kentucky, he's been to stay with us a couple of times. You know.
Mm.
Because he does a media thing with the uni in Swansea. So when he comes over, you know, he comes and stays with us for a weekend or whatever, and then spends the rest of the time up in London.
Another one for you guys, as long as it doesn't clash with anything, that you should put in your calendar if it comes back, is Nice, the one up in like Milton Keynes that way.
Halford, is it?
No,
No.
North. Was it Northampton or Milton Keynes up that way anyway?
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's another creator-driven show. It's not like, you know,
Yeah.
celebrity-driven and stuff. So that's another one for you guys to add.
Is that the one? I think Lee and I think Farncombe and Nige went there one year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, they got. I think Nige got me a Hellboy sketch for grade O.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
All the viewers are watching this now, making note of all these shows and stuff.
Yeah, and make sure
Yeah.
you go to SCGC as well.
Yeah.
As we're plugging everyone
Yeah.
else's shows.
We really enjoyed the digital digital morning that we did for SCGC. It was a good laugh, but we miss it, mind. It's not quite the same as going to hang out down in the hall.
No,
No.
that's the thing. It was nice. It was by the seat of our pants a lot of times. Simon didn't move for about 12 hours nearly out of his seat. He was just
Yeah.
unless he was
Well-
gaming or something.
I didn't do. I don't think I did anything after our stream, and I think I think my Twitch thing was on 10 hours when I shut it off. I think I'd been watching the stream for 10 hours.
We did, I think, just under 24 because we had a glitch right at the beginning, and it was hard to gauge when.
When you'd started.
Yeah.
Oh, we were
Right.
there before it and after it though, so we did
Yeah.
24
I had
hours.
3
But
hours
if you want,
sleep, and we
if
had
you-
about 30 hours of awake time.
yeah, and if you want to have, if you want to go and hear something about people losing their minds, all of it's up on our YouTube channel, and so you could go over there and subscribe while you're there. But
Yeah.
if you want to hear some people losing their mind, watch us playing
6 o'clock in the
Mario Kart at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We jokingly called it morning Mario Kart madness. There was a point literally where when you're really tired and trying to play a game and you just push the thumbstick forward and you snap out of it. We were right at the beginning. We were all wired. We were all wanting to play Mario Kart. All bright lights were keeping us awake. By the end of it, I was just going forward. And
Yeah.
I was sitting here in the warmth of my living room and on the floor because I had to prop myself up because I was just falling asleep.
Yeah, and I got booked.
What do you mean?
So, no, when I I took Adam home just before your stream. I parked
Yeah.
outside the shop, but they changed the restrictions on the high street. So,
Oh, right.
so like it's like loading only for 2 hours in the morning,
Right.
including a Sunday. So I was sat in the shop, playing Mario Kart, and outside the door, my car was getting booked, and I didn't even see it. So
That's annoying.
yeah,
What's that? How much is that now? 30 sheets if you pay it straight away, is it? 40 quid.
40 quid, I think it was, something like
I
that.
think the
Yeah.
tickets in the bag in the flat.
Oh, right.
Oh, I was fuming.
Yeah.
Doing a bit for
Um,
charity and ending up paying the
Paying through the nose.
council.
I spoke to Castaneda last week. I missed the stream. It went well, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
He done what you guys are doing.
Yeah, he said he did like a bunch of watercolors. I saw
Yeah,
some. He sent me photos of them because I texted him after the run about 10:30, something like that. I was like, oh man, I missed the stream. So I messaged him, and he said he really enjoyed. He had a really good time.
yeah.
And I spoke to Stuart as well the week before his stream. I joined that one, the Justin's one. Yeah, that was good.
No, they were great. Castaneda did Mojo Jojo Tanjiro.
Yeah, I saw it. It was good, wasn't it?
His Scott, Age of Apocalypse Scott, was just fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And then there was some anime
Mojo
person.
Jojo, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, he did it. He did a Mojo Jojo sketch on the stream last week. He's a baby this week, right?
Yeah.
June
Yeah.
29th.
Yeah. Yeah, he texted me. Mardy, they called her, after Marty McFly.
I was going to recommend Adam for a boy and Adam for a girl. So
Yeah, right.
oh well, close enough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find there you go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
It's going to be a glare on your phone again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Kind of.
If anybody's wondering why I'm by the screen you were on is here, so I'm looking at you guys.
There you go. You could just about probably make it out.
I got different screens up.
Oh yeah, I saw them.
The stream.
I think it's Pete. Pete didn't see them. I don't think. I saw them online.
All right. Can you put you as your main screen?
Yeah. Sorry.
Flip your phone sideways as well, so they enlarge properly.
It's Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that looks amazing.
But
I love a bit of mojo.
yeah, well, that was the first thing that I think it was Adam who actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking as soon as somebody said draw it, because obviously you draw a lot when we're doing streams and stuff. The first thing that popped in my head was monkeys. I was like,
Yeah.
Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, I finished the drawing review.
I got it up on the stream now.
There you go.
I didn't give my head enough shine.
Yeah,
It was covered in sunscreen now.
we can fix that, mate.
Up the filters.
Well, here we go. Hang on, what brush is that? I'm using my wrong brush. Oh my, here we go. Give that a little bit of blue. There you go, mate. Done. Looks like looking in a mirror, innit, boys? Yeah, there you go.
I think Ricky's come off better with that than me.
Yes, you can hardly see your other chin now, Rick.
Yeah, it looks like a good beard instead of a patchy one.
Looks like you got a neck beard now.
But yes.
Color in your face like that. Just do that. Just get an orange marker.
Color in your missing patches. Yeah, get one of those Posca paint pens. Just paint it on.
Just get Kieran's airbrusher.
So just to keep it on
Paint me a
theme
model.
for our usual ones, we usually take questions from the audience. No one's come back with anything yet, but the other thing we usually do is take questions from Comic Book Crush. So, what do you use? What do you prefer using, digital or traditional? And then Adam can ask you the versus question.
Pretty much all digital for work. If it's work, it's digital. If I fancy sending someone a sketch or someone wants a commission or something like that, I'll do it traditionally. But quite a lot of the time, then I'll still do the pencils in digitally.
Ah,
Yeah, no, I'll do them digitally now. I
do you
always find to
prefer
get.
that then? I mean,
I just prefer the. I think that. I think I always get a better piece digitally, just because of the ability to alter it. Like I'll sit down and draw a pencil sketch, and I'll be like, I like the look of it. I like the texture. I like drawing with a pencil. But I always find something wrong with it, and to alter it is just a pain in the ass. You have to rub everything out. Yesterday, when did I was doing some sketches for I was doing that Roxy Bot Kicker sketch, Pete.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I kept doing this. I kept going like this on the paper with my finger to move to do this, And I found myself a couple of times. It's been like 6 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
That I've, maybe even longer, that I've had my setup, and I keep doing this because I've got my button on my
stylus.
on my pen set up to one is drag, and the other is undo.
Hmm.
So I do this. I'm like, oh yeah, it's all right, it's looking okay. Oh no, I don't like it, so I just bang, undo, done, gone. So I find myself doing this with my pencil, my actual traditional pencil. I find myself if I draw a line, I'll do that with a pencil on a piece of paper, and I'll be like, oh, I don't like it, and then I click the pencil and nothing happens, and you gotta go and rub it out then,
Yeah.
But I also
Again,
find
too.
it's just the ability to alter things always makes I don't know, people might not feel the same way I do about it. They might be like, oh no, I prefer your traditional stuff.
Mm.
But I find the ability to draw this guy and then be like, oh right, hang on, his head is just head's just way too big, so or too small. So the ability to do this in your layout stage, to me, is priceless compared to having to do this with a rubber and then redraw it again when you don't always get it right the second, third, maybe fourth time.
Yeah.
And by the end, then you know what it's like to make a million mistakes. You draw a bit, Adam. You know what it's like to make a million mistakes. In the end, you just get a lump of pulp paper just rubbed out to
That's
death.
why I don't draw anymore.
Yeah. So
I know. Justin was saying that he prefers paper. I mean, he does some stuff digitally afterwards, but he prefers pen to paper. But I guess it is. I mean, it's learning a whole new way of drawing, of course. But I guess after you've done it for so long,
yeah.
it does
Plus,
become
Justin's got that really cool. His use of different types of medium is, he does a lot of. He's got a lot of paint, a lot of spatter, You know, he's got all sorts going on that you can't. I've sat with him and watched him work. You know, it's
Everything seems like a happy little accident.
he couldn't really create the stuff he does like that digitally anyway. He's a great digital colorist.
Yeah.
But I think his work is more geared to like that, not messy, but chaotic, I would say.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
yeah, maybe
There's
chaotic.
noise on the paper.
Jim is very similar. Mahfood, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't ever see an artist like Jim be a digital artist, you know?
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just don't think it's different for me. I've got quite a crisp, solid line style, more like a cartoon, you know. So, yeah, that's the overly long answer to your question. digital for me so far. Yeah. Pete, what do you think?
We haven't got time. You need a one.
Yeah,
No,
that's
joking.
gone. If anybody's still awake, that was the answer to one question.
How about yourself, Pete?
I love drawing digitally. Just like Mark was saying, but I think equally the possibilities, and you talked about happy accidents. I love, and you've probably seen me, I start off really quite scribbly when I'm sketching digitally, just because there's no cost. Like Mark was saying, you've got infinite layers that are infinite sheets of paper. You haven't got any worries about mess to clear up or splatters. So it allows you to work fast, sometimes raw, just without thought to a certain extent, see what comes out. I start drawing something sometimes and not knowing what is going to be there, which I don't think I would approach a pencil drawing the same way. I would have to know what I was doing first with a pencil drawing, and I don't have to have that in my mind when I'm working digitally. You can just sometimes see what's there and see what appears. Much like those sort of scribble drawings that you would, when you were a kid, you'd draw a scribble and pass it on to somebody. I like, especially with a sketch, and a lot of the stuff I did tonight didn't necessarily start with an idea of a character until I drew a few lines. Generally, I will always, even if I'm doing something traditional, I'll always start with a digital sketch. Again, it's just quicker, and you're not using your resources ahead of time. And then I do like to be forced into doing something traditionally every now and again. So the fact that we offer like the ink sketches on the Kickstarters means that you always have to keep your hand in with your pencils and your pens. I keep a traditional sketchbook. I've always got something to draw on by the side of me at all times. So I don't feel that I'm cutting myself off by working digitally, but it's preferred, I think, really. But it's nice to be forced into doing a traditional piece every now and again. So digital.
Cool. I mean, you don't have, when you're drawing, you don't have to explain yourself, really, do you? I mean, it works. What works.
Yeah, totally.
It's nice that digital has come that far. It's like doing digital photography as well. It's come to that point where it is a valid. It's not just valid. It's possible. It isn't something you have to struggle with, or do something else first, do something on paper, and then come to it, or
It's on a delay.
What's that?
None passing in a drink.
No one was saying hello, but I said it was on a delay.
Hello, None.
Hello, None.
It's getting my re-up.
I finished my tea.
So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. No, I think I'm take more chances digitally. I'm terrible when I'm not. The way I work traditionally, I think, is a lot less experimental, and I take less chances. I think perhaps when I'm drawing, and I'd be more liable to perhaps draw it again and again. I usually have something in mind that I want. I want to draw a character that has a bit of character about it as well.
Mm.
You know, rather than just drawing a likeness, I want something of that character to sort of, permeate the picture as well. So I think working digitally allows me to do that sort of faster, looser, and yeah, I just it's great, love it. I've not been working this way as long as Mark, and I've not done as many, but it's certainly just it's the freedom. I think really it's fab, love it.
I've got a weird one. I
Yeah, but what about your drawing?
Yeah.
yeah. It, I've got I never when I drew traditionally, I did a couple of times, but not to the point where I could say it was part of my toolbox, my pencil case. You know, Pete uses one quite often when he draws traditionally, the non-repro pens,
Mm.
the blue
Yeah, yeah.
pencil, red pencil.
Yeah.
Now I never used one of those when I drew traditionally,
Mm,
but now I draw digitally. I pencil everything in blue or red
yeah.
when there's absolutely no need to do it because
You just
it's
drop out the layer.
Mm.
yeah, of course I do the layer on top later, but I find maybe it's a color thing, is it? I find when I go to ink over the pencils, I can always see the blue
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Whereas I couldn't. Pete bought me a bunch of blue pencils one time. I couldn't see them, and that's why
Yeah,
I didn't use them.
they weren't
Really
good. Yeah,
saying I
that
didn't
first
use your
batch.
gift, Pete, but thank you anyway.
No,
Yeah,
they were shit. Sorry about that.
yeah. No,
They
it
were
was nothing. I just thought that it was my.
no, they
I'm
were
not
they were the
colorblind or
wrong.
anything. It was just
They were too hard.
what's the
Oh, is
problem
that what
with
it
being
was?
colorblind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
No,
now,
they were too
now,
hard and they were too pale. And because now I use big chunky pencils when I'm doing my it's all that sort of big chunky lead,
Yeah.
real, you know, and for the same reason, the broader it is, the same with I find it's a recreation of working digitally because the actual line itself is just coarser. So I think the same reason that I like a thick sort of line is what you're describing, Mark, when you're working with a different color. It's all those marks that you might find are useful.
yeah,
It's not showing up, but when you're working with that color underneath, it's the possibilities that you're exploring. You
yeah,
you could
Yeah.
you could you could choose to put a line in a different place and then even try it again, which of course with with traditional you're stuck with that decision. You
Mm.
know,
yeah.
there's not a lot you can do except convince yourself you made the right decision.
Yeah. I would have
Hey,
said,
boy.
Pete, whenever you wear the two-finger glove thing, it always looks like he pissed off the Yakuza, especially in dark light.
Yeah, but no, it's just fun. You don't have to worry. I think that's the
Yeah.
other thing. You know, I'm so conscious of my time uh, that I've got such a lot of stuff to do or stuff that you want to do or commitments elsewhere that when you are going to sit down and do something, you don't want to get in a situation where you've got to do it again.
Mhm.
And I have found that if I'm not happy with something, I can't pass it on and just say, oh well, that's it. It has to be the best you can do it to a certain extent.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't afford the time to do it twice.
Nah.
Totally understand.
Plus, you don't. It's rare you have to do it twice when you're doing it digitally because you fix all the bits before you get to a certain stage. You fix all your pencils so you don't end up inking something and be like, oh man, hang on, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And even if it is, it takes you 2 seconds to fix it. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. And you can try out, you if you've picked up the wrong pen or the wrong brush. I mean, I know there are pros out there that they can pick anything up and just do,
make it work.
oh, totally. I mean, Jim Food, like we mentioned earlier, he could use a bog brush and produce something that's absolutely stunning.
I bet you any money, yes.
there's no
yeah.
doubt. Yeah.
Oh, we've only
Yeah.
got dishwashing brushes. Oh, no, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh,
How many
they'll
you got?
do. Yeah.
Oh, somebody's using them. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Got a bit of suds on them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm not that kind of person. So, all power. So, but this gives me the ability sometimes to pretend I'm that kind of person, I suppose. But, I can just muck about a little bit more in a more comfortable way.
Yeah. But that's the thing. There is no wrong way of doing it. That
No,
just means there's new ways of doing what you do.
it's just the search. It really is I'm just looking for some line that leads me to the next one, really. I was listening to, there's a brilliant podcast. It's not as good as Just Us League, of course, but there's one called Word Balloon, and he had the Upstart studio from the early 80s, and it was, oh God, Howard Chaykin, Walt Simonson, Frank Miller, Bill Sienkiewicz, down the hall, Dennis Cowan, Dean Haspiel was their assistant, and that was amazing. But Bill Sienkiewicz was talking about how he pushes himself to make mistakes. He wants to just make a mark that he doesn't know what it's going to be, but then it works or it doesn't. If it doesn't, he has to fix it. And it's this kind of like work, fix it, work, fix it. I mean, that's a nice approach, and I don't think I could ever do that traditionally, but I can digitally. I think that's what it frees me up from, this kind of uptightness.
Yeah.
That
You can even tweak the mistakes, can't you? If they just look good. That
Yeah.
reminds me of I was explaining to Veronica the other day. Brian Frow, the illustrator for Jim Henson's Labyrinth and things like that, and Dark
Oh, yeah.
Crystal. He released a book that was that built on the goblins and stuff from the Labyrinth, but there were coffee stains in there, and he turned them into monsters.
Yeah.
Coffee, and there's a creature in there, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
Totally. No, it's that kind of stuff. I think I'm long enough in the tooth to know what kind of what I can get away with in one realm of drawing, and what I need to help me to push it in others. And I think digital just helps me to certainly free up a lot more than I'd be able to naturally. And once I put the hours in digitally, who knows? Maybe I'll have the balls to try it in real life.
So did either?
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't see one from Mark. But did either of you consider doing? Did you see the stuff with J. Scott Campbell where someone corrected his art? So he put out for people to do a version of his cover in their style.
I gotta be honest, I think I was pretty ballsy of him.
Yeah. I did
was-
see it. I didn't do it though because my work's always right. No, actually, it is not always right, and I won't reveal it. I have done it quite recently as well. But I didn't join in that
What was
little.
that? Was that on Instagram? Was it?
No,
It
I
was
did.
on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
It was
Um,
a,
it was the Mary Jane, the Spidey cover, you know,
She's sitting on the phone.
where she's sitting on a sofa.
All right.
I gotta be honest. I like J. Scott Campbell, but I don't think his fixed version was quite fixed either.
No, no.
I don't think it was as good as he could have done it. You know,
No, I agree.
I think it was just
it's just an awkward pose. You know,
Yeah.
that's sitting on the sofa. Like, what was she like sitting on her knees at one point?
Yeah.
And she,
depth of field was not
yeah,
depth of field. The perspective was wrong.
the perspective was tough. You know, but I think that's part of the magic of it. You know, he's stuck with it and tried to fix it. If that was me, I'd have just binned it. If somebody had pointed that out to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, well, you know what I mean. If I was J. Scott
Your
Campbell,
hands
I'd
off.
be, yeah, come and look at my house. You know, look at my bags of money.
but no, the Black Cat one. Did you see that?
I didn't.
Nah.
Because after it, he did draw this in your own style kind of thing. Because you
All
know, he's getting people have a go because he doesn't draw women anatomically correct, basically.
Well,
Because he's a cartoonist, not.
yeah.
It's something I've noticed. I as a comic book somebody who obviously reads comic books like all of us. I don't think there's any malice in there. But you have to admit it's kind of like he's obviously much more talented than I, so I got to give him that. But there is one style with him basically. I mean, some people have pointed out that he's overly sexualized characters, and I believe it's unintentional. It's just the way he draws. You know, it draws uber cheesecake characters basically.
And that's why people employ him.
Yeah.
You know, they know what they want off him, and that's what he gives them.
Yeah.
And his
Plus
covers
he-
are hotter on the secondary market, so there's an audience out there for him.
Yeah, he's a great
like
artist
Michael
as well.
Turner,
Yeah,
but
I like him.
Yeah, he's like Michael
Yeah.
Turner, but with a more cartoony style.
Yeah, I liked Turner.
Mm.
It was sad what happened to him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I liked Fathom.
Yeah.
And he was a great artist, but he won the artist. Campbell is no way. One of them is much better than the other. But that is all personal opinion, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you could have there's thousands of Michael Turner fans out there. You know.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I got like a complete run of Fathom, I think, in single issues.
Oh,
I got a whole bunch of shit he did.
It's one of my favorite T-shirts.
Um,
I've got of his.
yeah, but I think J. Scott Campbell is the more accomplished artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and his style's you know, he's always drawn that cheesecakey type stuff, but he's definitely got better as an artist. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally.
You know, his stuff on what did he do? That Gen 13 stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty bunk.
It's always refreshing seeing a cover by. I only have see covers by him these days, but it's always refreshing seeing covers by. They just seem to have energy.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, he's so popular, isn't he?
Mm.
You know, you only got to flick through a previews, and it's like, oh, J. Scott Campbell's doing a cover for that, you know. Or when you hear about a new series coming out, you'll be like, I wonder how many covers J. Scott Campbell's going to do for that, you know.
Doing anything at the moment? I'm just checking now.
So we'll have to do versus question. I was thinking because it's Pete, we should do a monkey battle royale.
Oh,
So-
well, I was. Yeah. Not Ricky. Don't steal my thunder with.
All right. Well,
come
Pete's
back.
not there at the moment, so. But
Take my one question.
all right. You've had more than one question.
No, I haven't. The one important one.
Yeah, there's only one real one, and that was it. There's only one that counts.
So
I'm just on his Twitter now. He did a. J. Scott Campbell did a. It's on Twitter from June 25th. It was Conan's last show. Not the Barbarian, of course. The
I was thinking the Barbarian.
Conan O'Brien, yeah. Conan.
And he's done this
O'Brien?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Brien. He's done this.
Yeah, I
fantastic,
saw the
episode.
piece he did. It's good.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he definitely makes people look cooler than they are as well, you know.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's made Conan O'Brien's forehead, which is bigger than mine,
Yeah,
look majestic.
yeah, definitely. He does look like superhero version of Conan, not
yeah.
the you know, the old massive forehead dude that he is.
Neck's getting as big as his forehead now.
okay.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you to come back, Pete, so we could pose the send the versus question directly to you, directly your way. So normally it's this person versus that person, but maybe this is an easy question, or maybe this to answer, or maybe it's a hard question. It's a 7 free for all of untamed, lawless, relentless, merciless, shrouded, and fated. Who would win?
At the Silverbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got Untamed, just complete savagery.
Yep.
So you're talking sort of early Wolverine. So you've got Lawless. He's canny. He's got his eye out. So he's perhaps maybe more defensive. He's keeping on the low down a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Relentless. Just he's trying to tamp it down a little bit. Really, he's raging by then, but he's fed up, and he's really got the biggest hard on for getting up to Ashhala. Really in Relentless. And then you've got Lost, which is Lost is like, whenever you picked up a Conan, you kind of knew Conan was in that period. It was that.
I've just been doing a bit too much acid.
Most Conan stories happened when he was just Conan. Most Silverbird stories happened and got lumped into the Lost sort of area. And then you got Merciless, where he's got armies at his command. It's more sort of what General Ursus. Then you've got definitely it's not going to be fated. I mean, he's definitely past his prime by then.
Yeah.
And then before then you've got what's this?
Shrouded.
Shrouded. So Shrouded again, past his prime, and he's using perhaps his experience and his foresight and his realization of the way that the world is. But I suppose it's like fighting somebody who's more intelligent and wise.
Like old man Logan knows he's past his prime. So
Yeah,
he's
but he knows everything that he's done before. So it's I suppose, as always, the get out is what's your story purpose and what do you want the outcome to be. But I I would probably. It's definitely not merciless because he's flawed. He's doing things for the wrong reason. It could be shrouded because he's worked through everything and it's pretty much the last stage.
Hmm.
Lost, he is. He's got a little bit broken in Lost because of the outcome at the end of this storyline that we're doing, the heartbreaking end of the Relentless saga. Yeah, maybe I'd put my money on Shrouded. The surprise. I think he might not be physically the strongest, but he's definitely aware of all of the ins and outs.
He remembers himself from his past and
Yeah.
his weaknesses.
Otherwise, Relentless, because I really like drawing the Relentless one. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Do you have one, Mark, or are you gonna leave it with Pete?
No, Pete knows him best. Yeah.
Too well.
I think yeah, I get Pete I get Pete's idea that he's as he gets older he's weaker but he's smarter.
Mm.
But I think his what's his first
Yeah, Untamed.
Untamed, he's pretty hardcore then.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's a little bit Hulk. If he gets hold of you, no matter how dull he is, you've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hardest fight would be on sort of 1v6 really. I think to a certain extent. But for that
That's what
reason.
Shrouded would do, was turn all of his other selves against Untamed, beat him down.
Yeah, well, it would be Wolverine versus Old Man Logan, I suppose. Ultimately. Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Nice little, neat little way of describing some of the sagas as well for the viewers.
Yeah, I mean there are key points for each of the sagas that they're almost an excuse for me to do stories in that way. So, Untamed is just an excuse to do King Kong stories. You know, just battle scenes against dinosaurs and giant monsters.
Yeah.
Lawless is an excuse to do James Elroy or Philip Marlowe stories in a weird fantasy setting. I don't quite know exactly how to do that yet, but I love those stories and the idea of doing that.
Mm.
There's a Conan story that is pretty much a kind of detective story where he has to team up with some sort of city guards and find out who killed somebody. And it was that made me want to do that kind of story. Relentless is it started out to be sort of pirate sort of led stuff, but it's a bit of a mix of other things. A little bit of Samurai Jack, but there's a lot of Samurai Jack in Lost. Lost is a kind of explorer, so Conan plus Samurai Jack, the two are a bit mixed.
Mm.
And then Merciless is Planet of the Apes. Really is a bit of a general Ursus sort of vibe. And then Shrouded is he's using more of the sort of myths really. It's a little bit more Odin and pulling it together to the end. So you're trying to be a little bit more mythic, trying to pull in some more shamanic kind of trippy visual stories. So I suppose a little more Doctor Strange or Warlock in particular was a big touch point for my idea of those stories. And then Fated and how it all ends is, I suppose, it's that last storyline of the king, or the final sort of death of the hero to a certain extent. But yeah, there's very much a touch point of each of those things when I came up with them. It was like a way of trying to generate ideas for myself, but also just thinking it would be really cool to just do stories based in this sort of timescale, remit, character sort of arena. And obviously Conan's a big touch point, but I think they are going to be different enough that it doesn't feel like it's just a guerrilla Conan. I think there's I think we've got enough going so far that it's already divided itself.
It's not like it's new ideas. I mean, you've had it growing and growing since before SCC, so not like it's not thought out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, these, like you say, these ideas. We mentioned me and Mark did a commentary for Silverbeard, and most of these cat food characters, they haven't just popped out of my head recently. That I've been living with them for donkey's years. It's a bit of an exorcism, really, to a certain extent, that it's finally taken this long for them to fully reappear. But I mean, the earliest one, I think, in the book, in the compendium, there's a character called Freddy Fangfeet, and he's a school kid who's got lizard clawed feet for legs, and that came about because I ended up being bought a pair of slippers that had, in the old school, kind of like they were like mules, but they had like dinosaur feet on my slippers. So I created a character who had real dinosaur feet because I'd got these slippers, and that's pretty much how a lot of these characters have come about, and I've been drawing some of them for, God, 35 years probably. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Roxy Bot Kicker came about because of my love of Blade Runner and Escape from New York. It's that long ago, and you think, oh, that film was so cool. I want to do something like that. So it's partly a bit of a rip-off of
Homage.
existing characters, yeah. But you mash them around enough, and then later on, I've changed enough bits about it now when you realise what you were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's they've been knocking around for so long. It's nice to get them out, really.
Yeah. Like the Monster Kids was same. Veronica saying weird stuff and.
Yeah, totally. And doing something for your daughters,
Yeah.
I think that's something that surprised me about Silverbeard, was when it turned the story of Silverbeard that I wrote donkeys years ago suddenly turned into about a story about Silverbeard looking for his daughter just at the time when both of my girls were basically leaving home and forging a life for themselves. So I think there's something that a psychiatrist to be able to work out a fair bit of.
Just turn up with a comic book and they go, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Totally. So there's still weird shit happening.
So as we come in to finish up, do you want to tell everyone one last time where they can find you?
Yeah, catfoodcomics.com/Kickstarter. We've only been running about 5 days, but we are funded, so you can join in the fun from as little as £9 for the 3-pack. But by the end of the campaign, there'll be a lot more involved than just the 3-pack, even if you back at the base base rate.
Okay, and you can find us as Swansea Comic and Gaming Convention on all the social medias. Please give us a subscribe on YouTube and help us get
You can actually
YouTube
find
/ SCGC rather than
Bibbidi
YouTube
bobbidi
/ blah 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 blah. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, there's probably some
point in any direction. You
Yeah,
can
there's-
get one right.
probably some sort of telling you to go somewhere else.
Clicky
So, so click them. Oh, we just had a question. Copperopolis 4. Never mind. We've run out of time. Let's leave it there. Bye.
Brilliant.